A lot of moral panicking recently as to why young men are being influenced by the so-called manosphere. Yet completely absent from discussions surrounding toxic masculinity is the problem of toxic femininity.
Or is it? I don't know what. Well, maybe
Yeah, right there you saw one of the biggest pop stars on the planet encouraging 100,000 impressionable, mostly young women, join in a chorus of asserting that young men are stupid, slow and useless. And then going on in the rest of the song to malign them as having half a brain, being dumb, incompetent man-childs. Applying this universally to all men with the lyrics, "Hey men, I swear they choose me, I'm not choosing them." Lyrics co-written by a man, by the way. Lyrics which, if they were directed at a woman by a popular male entertainer, would see him cancelled in a heartbeat and branded a disgusting, dangerous example of toxic masculinity. Oh yeah, and why in virtually half of her music videos is Sabrina Carpenter constantly killing men? When this theme is so weirdly prevalent, at what point do we accept that it might be a deliberate form of social engineering? Again, imagine if a male musician was constantly offing women in his videos. There'd be outrage. But when Sabrina Carpenter does it to men, it's cute, and she gets away with it. Why? Female privilege? Because she's attractive? I mean, I really don't get the hype. Toxic manosphere men are being blamed for radicalizing a generation of boys with virtually zero analysis as to why young men are attracted to their message in the first place. Which, aside from the genuinely corrosive messaging, like urging young guys not to get married, not to be monogamous, not to focus on building a stable family life, largely boils down to them telling young men to be emotionally resilient, physically fit, and self-confident. And you're surprised they're attracted to that message. I mean, come on, it's pretty simple, isn't it? When virtually the entirety of the education system, the media, and popular culture constantly denigrates young men as being born with the original sin of toxicity, tells them they're useless, expects them to be weak and apologetic for merely existing, others them as incels, and then provides them with so-called male role models, whose entire shtick seems to revolve around encouraging men to have emotional incontinence, cry all the time, and endlessly talk about their feelings, i.e., become women. Why do you think they gravitate towards podcast bros and self-made manosphere idols when you've created a complete vacuum which has served to obliterate normal, healthy masculinity? And speaking of rocky male-female relations, Uber's just rolled out their Women Plus Connect feature nationwide, letting female and non-binary riders request female drivers, because that makes total sense. As Ground News' bias coverage shows, left-leaning outlets like the International Business Times are gushing over this as a long overdue safety feature, celebrating Uber for making rides safer for women. Meanwhile, right-leaning outlet The Blaze cuts straight through the absurdity with their headline, "What is a woman?" They're pointing out the glaring contradiction. If Uber's including non-binary passengers and drivers, what's stopping biological men from gaming the system? A male identifies as non-binary, requests a female driver, a female requests a woman driver, gets a man who identifies as one. Congratulations, Uber, you've completely defeated your own stated purpose with woke nonsense. This is why I've partnered with Ground News for years now. They're the only app and website showing me the full picture on the most important issues. By gathering news from across the political spectrum, then breaking down each source's political lean and financial backing, I can see the world as it is, not as their biases want me to see it. Try it for yourself at ground.news/PJW via the link below, or scan the QR code on screen. Ground News has helped dissipate all the overwhelming clutter on my social media. Instead of endlessly scrolling trying to figure out what's important and what's spin. They show me the truth in one clear format. Best part is, Ground News isn't a new tool that you have to learn. They're a better version of the doom scrolling you're already doing. One look at their blind spot feed, you'll see how many neutral outlets actually lean left, and why they adopt certain narratives for particular stories. I've never felt more informed and ahead of breaking news. Ground News has truly become an invaluable tool in helping shape my daily news digest. And after reading your comments, I know you'd benefit too. So I got my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan I've been using. Just go to ground.news/PJW or scan the QR code on screen. That's just $5 a month to think for yourself with clarity and context. And since we've all got that one friend who bases all their facts on biased news sources, you can save the debate and send my link instead. Ground News is independently owned and subscriber funded, which means their sole mission is to hold the media accountable. Be part of that fight by going to ground.news/PJW. Why female pop stars are lambasting mediocre men. From this article we learn, and thankfully it saves us from having to listen to the actual album, that much of it is dedicated to outright misandry and vitriol towards the opposite sex. Apparently Sabrina's mad that men can't assemble furniture, do the dishes, or practice proper grammar. 3 things I'd hazard a guess she's completely useless at too. The Economist provides numerous other examples of popular female artists demeaning men in their songs, noting that the trend reflects a social shift, one which has manifested in a larger number of American women between the ages of 25 and 54 remaining single, because their minimum standards for a partner are getting higher and higher. Oddly, no real self-reflection on what the women themselves are bringing to the table.
I'm shaking. I just got home from a date. We were going to an event and dinner. We did not make it to dinner. He just dropped me off at home. I'm back home. I just asked him to take me home. You know the amount of times I have wanted to do that while on a date and I didn't, and I just sat there and grinned and bared it. A guy does something or says something or is something that I just don't jive with, and I stick around because it's the polite thing to do. Emily just said, look, I have to be really honest. You just did this thing that is really not my vibe and it's turning me off, and I don't think I can make it to dinner with you.
Asmund Gold summed it all up better than I could.
Because also, by the way, young men are massively disenfranchised everywhere. They're disenfranchised in media representation. They're disenfranchised in hiring practices. They're disenfranchised in education preferences. They're disenfranchised in opportunities such as scholarships and other types of internships. They're disenfranchised in the fact that they have to register for the draft and women don't have to register for the draft. They're disenfranchised in terms of child custody. They're disenfranchised in terms of, sentencing in courts. Like, these are all verifiable, quantifiable, 100%. Like, not only is it men, but white men, it's like a multiplier where they're even more disenfranchised. These people will only have themselves to blame, because they've radicalized an entire generation of young men by creating an entire culture and society that hates them and that tries everything that it possibly can to demonize, keep them down, delegitimize, infantilize, patronize, and just basically punish these young men for nothing.
If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos, and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website, modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.